a student handbook. So we want to turn now to Mr. Walter Perkins, the father of Hunter Perkins, and Dr. Michael Oberschneider, who has worked with children who have been bullied and children who are bullies as well. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Walter, let me start with you, and let me say first that I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you for that sentiment.
Thank you for coming in. So you believe that there's an overheated environment that's been created right now that's provoked an overreaction?
I think that's part of it. I think when you have sensational cases of these tragedies with suicides occurring and histories of in the past of people being bullied, I think it tends to heat up not only the public discussion, but also the reaction of officials when something like this occurs.
Well, let me ask the question from another perspective. There are parents out there this morning who are mourning the loss of their children who they believe were hounded into suicide as a consequence of bullies. And the argument that these parents often make is that school officials are not doing enough to stop bullying. How do you respond to that, and what would you say to those parents?
I'd agree with, I'd truncate that sentence. I'd say maybe they're not doing enough, but maybe simply stopping the bullying is not the total prescription.
So your argument seems to be, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that school officials and society in general need to do a better job understanding not only the bullied, but also those who bully.
In my case, the school had a track record of a student having mental health difficulties, taking ADD drugs, taking antidepressants. There was an incident the year before where he mutilated himself because he was upset. School officials intervened and kept me out of the loop.
Let me turn to you,
Sure.
Doctor. Do you believe that more attention needs to be paid to the children who are actually doing the bullying?
I do. I think that we've spent quite a bit of attention focusing on the kids who have been bullied, and we should. We need to. They are victims. But at the same time, we need to understand why these individuals, kids and teenagers, and sometimes into adulthood, why these behaviors are happening in the first place.
What are the warning signs?
The research does support that individuals with mental health problems, ADHD, Mr. Perkins mentioned ADHD and depression for his son. He was formally diagnosed with those conditions. Individuals with those conditions have higher rates or are more vulnerable to acting out in different ways.
Is there something going on in the larger society that we're seeing more bullies right now?
I work with a lot of kids and teenagers who are, as you said, bullied and those who bully. And there are two themes I've identified in I thought a lot about this morning. And the two themes are, look, as a society, not to sound like a philosopher, but as a society, we're moving faster and faster. Parents don't have the time, I'm noticing, as much to take the time to teach the values and morals that matter. We're missing very important moments in development for socialization, so that kids are then going out into the world ill-prepared to manage themselves at an elite prep school when conflict arises.
And we're almost out of time, but let me just ask you one final question, Walter. How are you doing this morning?
Not very well. I'm still very unhappy about the loss of my child. The routine I'm going through is a little bit of up and down. Whenever I'm not focusing on the loss, I'm a lot more, how can I say, adjusted and happy than I am whenever I'm thinking about some of the bad aspects, like signing his organ donor sheet and the actual events that led to me trying to give him CPR. Things like that are not very pleasant memories, and you do recall them as time goes on through the day.
Well, again, our sympathies and condolences to you this morning. I really appreciate you coming in, both of you. This is an important issue and an interesting angle on a national discussion. Thank you very much again.